Welcome to the second video in our series on selling your business. I'm Lindsay Ryan, Marketing Director here at PDT Solicitors, and with me today I have Noel Ruddy, who is the head of our corporate team. Our corporate team here at PDT is well known as one of the leading experts in corporate transactions in the South East. They have lots of experience helping firms to buy and sell their businesses, working on mergers and acquisitions, corporate restructuring, corporate finance, strategic advisory work, and other corporate and commercial transactional matters. So Noel is here with us today to talk to us about heads of agreement. Right, so heads of agreements, why do you need them and what are they?
Well, firstly, good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning.
A heads of agreement or a letter of intent are not always needed, but let me put this into some context. If you go into a shop and ask to buy a box of pencils, then you don't expect to be presented with a pre-contract set of terms detailing the terms of purchase. Why? Well, because generally speaking, a single item purchase doesn't warrant it. And as a consumer, you can rely on established contract law. If, however, the single item you're looking to purchase is a house, then you would expect to receive a memorandum of sale from the estate agent setting out the headline terms such as the price and what fixtures and fittings are going to be included in the sale. So taking this up a notch, if you go into a shop or an estate agency and ask to buy the shop or the estate agency, then there are significantly more issues to consider than just a box of pencils or a house. Those issues will include such things as whether you're going to buy the business of the shop or the estate agency, or the company that owns the shop or the estate agency. If the business owns property from which it trades, will you want to buy it, or will the sellers want to keep it? Will you pay the purchase price all up front, or would you want to keep some money back for a period? Do you want the current owners to remain in the business? And if so, will new service agreements be required? Do you want the current owners to give warranties as to the state and condition of their business? And if the business is being marketed for sale, do you want it taken off the market for a period of time? So for these and many other reasons, when dealing with the sale of a business, it's usual to have the principal terms set out in a document which the buyer and the seller then sign off before the lawyers and accountants and other professional advisors get stuck in. I mean, I'd also add that from experience, a set of well-drawn heads of agreement helps to guide the professional advisors and provides a reference point. It also helps when giving a cost estimate for the work, as it enables the lawyers and the accountants to be able to gauge the amount of work required to be undertaken and the relative complexity of the work involved.
Brilliant. There's a lot to consider and include. So what would you expect to find in your heads of agreement?
Well, firstly, to be clear on this, the expression heads of agreement is used interchangeably with other expressions such as heads of terms, letter of intent, indicative offer, or as with a house purchase, memorandum of sale. So for a business purchase, I would generally expect to see a well-drawn set of heads include the following: the headline price, the subject matter of the sale and purchase, payment terms, the commercial terms that have been agreed by the parties, and exclusivity. So as with the memorandum of sale for a property purchase, a set of heads will always be expressed to be subject to contract, or subject to contract and due diligence, or even subject to contract, due diligence and funding. And the reason for this caveat is to make it clear that the heads are not intended to be legally binding. They don't create the contract between the buyer and the seller, which from a lawyer's perspective is helpful, as most transactions do change shape to a lesser or greater degree. However, having said that, there are a number of provisions within a set of heads that I would expect to be expressed as binding on the parties. These include confidentiality, costs, who bears the cost of preparing the documentation, exclusivity, and governing law. So, for example, I would expect governing law typically to be under English law.
Wow, there's a lot there. So what would your tips be for those who are creating the heads of terms?
Well, a set of heads of terms could be drawn up on the back of an envelope, but I wouldn't advise that. I mean, typically best advice would be to use solicitors such as PDT, because we have vast experience of preparing heads of terms. We know what to include. We know what not to include. With the heads of terms, we can also discuss non-disclosure agreements, so that before we provide any information to the buyer, there are obligations of confidence on the buyer in relation to that information.
That's brilliant. So thank you so much, Noel. That was interesting and really good advice. So you can find out more about our corporate services on our website, which you can see the details here. There's a fantastic, bright and friendly team here, and we'd love to hear how we can help your business. Thanks again, Noel. Thank you for sharing with us, and thank you for your time watching this video. I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions or comments about this video or our services, let us know.